like I said, they know exactly what's going on.
And what time it's happening, and the dogs at the shelter the same way. They know what time it's time to go out in the yard, and they're all at the gate, and they're excited and ready. They know when we start closing down for the day, they're already sitting at their gate, waiting for their afternoon treat. The minute they get their treat, they go lay down and go, okay, now it's sleep time. They have this schedule. So, and when people adopt a pet, and they're telling us, oh, I have trouble house training, or it has accents, it's one of the things we tell them. The more rigid your schedule, the easier to train the animal. Because if food goes in at a certain time, I promise you food's going to come out at a certain time, give or take, so you know, this is when I've really got to watch. This is when I've really got to be focusing on. People assume, I took him out, and then he came in and peed in the house. Well, people assume that an animal knows that outside is the toilet. They go outside and they smell and they see. To them, that's the amusement part.
Playtime.
And you have to teach an animal that being out there is toilet time. And the way you do that is when you first have an animal, you never take them outside to play. You play ball, you play tug, you play in the house. You only take them outside for bathroom trips until they understand. No distractions. This is the bathroom. Once they know that, life is a breeze. But a lot of people do not want to take that amount of time. They do not want to make that commitment to be a little regimented for a short period of time. But I'll tell you, 2 weeks of regimented time guarantees years of joy, pleasure, and a pet who knows what the house manners are. So it's an investment you just cannot replace. We're waking up over here.
She's waking up.
Are people talking about me?
Yeah.
At least opening her eyes.
My dogs definitely aren't as calm as this one, especially if it's to be a puppy.
Well, I'm going to tell you, at playtime, again, come over at playtime, she's a little friskier, but she is overall a very calm-natured animal. She's by no means hyper.
Yeah, like I said, my dogs are pretty much every part of my life. They go on the boat with me, they travel with me, they do, they love car rides, they love everything. So.
And it's wonderful to share those experiences with them.
What's the difference between pets and working dogs? For instance, if the sheep herder or, somebody has a herd dog or something of that nature, there's a difference.
Well, part of the difference is the attitude of the pet parent, and we like to call them parents. But in other words, I have friends, okay, that live in England, and they have a sheep farm, and they have herding dogs. Now, they treat their herding dogs like pets. I mean, the dog goes out and works all day, and herds, does everything it needs to do, but at night, it comes home with his pet dad, and he goes in the house, and the rest of the evening, he's their pet. Part of it has to do with breed. There are working breeds. Some of these animals are chosen as working dogs because that drive is already in the breed. And a lot of people, if you have a pet and it's a certain breed, research the breed because it's interesting to know from Chihuahuas to Lhasa Apsos to your bigger breeds, they were all working breeds at one time. And they all have, some were mousers, they all had different tasks. But whether it's treated as a pet or a working dog, that's the pet parent's decision. But I know most of the people I know that have real working dogs, it's like a working adult in the house. Day's done, job's done, we all go home together, and it's still a pet.
Is it like a hotel? Is this a hotel or what?
Well, they're so busy taking care of their guests that happens at the shelter sometimes. Customer service is critical, and sometimes you're busy taking care of someone. We do the same thing at the shelter. If we're taking care of an animal, medicating, feeding, and the phone's ringing, the phone waits. That's why we've got the answering machine. That's why we tell people, and it's on our message, that if you get it during working hours, we're with an animal, we'll call you back soon, because you always, no matter what you do for them, you have to prioritize.
Do you have volunteers that answer the phone also, that we do receptionist
Yes,
duties?
we do, and we're always in need of more. The ones we have work very, very hard, and we do need some more volunteers, but we have a volunteer receptionist every single day from 10 to 6. If somebody calls calls the Humane Society. That's a volunteer answering the phone. They're taking your message, they're giving you information. We have the orientation classes, so they know we don't throw somebody out there blind. But from time to time, someone will call in and they need something we can't provide, and they can get quite vocal in their unhappiness. And I really would like people to remember these are volunteers who are giving their time, their day free of charge because they do want to help. But people look at animal welfare organizations as the solution to animal welfare problems. And that really is looking at the picture in reverse. The public, the community is the solution to animal welfare problems. We are their assistants, we're the aid, we're the ones who can give help. But we can't, there is no organization that has enough money to take all the animals that are homeless, that aren't being spayed, that aren't being neutered. It is a public community responsibility to be responsible for an animal. And our job is to help in every way we possibly can. But we are never going to solve this problem. We need the community.
Everyone needs to work together.
Yes. And you have to remember that these organizations, whether it's the Humane Society or the SPCA or any other animal organization, we can only do as much as people donate money for. We don't get money from the state or the government. We rely specifically and solely on donations. So if people do not donate to help support us, what we can do becomes more and more limited because it costs money for us to feed and care. And we do whatever the vet says an animal needs, that's what we do. But again, it's paid for.
Right.
So you can't forget that.
Are you 100% volunteer over there? Or?
No, we are volunteer supported. We have a very small staff, and our staff there's basic core functions like the work our vet tech does. A volunteer could never do that. You need a manager on a daily basis because you have to have the consistency of what's going on with the animals. Where when the volunteer changes every day, so does the information stream. So we have a very small basic staff, and everything else is volunteer supported. We could not operate without our volunteers.
Yeah. Well, you were talking about how people have to in their community have to take it. My girlfriend, we live in Tucker Hills, and her dad just took 6 cats, and cats will just show up at their house. So if you have one cat and it's like an house like that, more cats will just keep showing up.
Oh, sure, they know. The last one fits a little target. Soft spot. They know.
That Planned pet food place just opened up the hills, and they took them all there and got them all spayed
that's
and neutered.
wonderful.
So.
What a difference. That is 6 animals that will not reproduce. And if you, in a 7-year span, a cat, and please forgive me, I don't have it in front of me, but ballpark, in a 7-year span, one female cat can produce throughout her line with offspring 87,000 kittens.
Wow.
A dog